Hello, you guys. Welcome to my channel, All Things Militia, where I discuss a lot about what's going on in the political world, but also topics that pertain to everyday life in general. If you are a subscriber to my channel, I have to come on here regularly to tell you thank you so much for your support. I enjoy engaging with you guys. So if there's a video that you watch that you like, please feel free to hit the thumbs up for your girl. Leave a comment down below because I want to get your take on some of the things that I've discussed if you're interested. Share the video, and if you are new to my channel, you can do all of those things, and don't forget to subscribe if you are interested. So you guys, I talk a lot about politics, but I know sometimes when you do the same thing over and over, it can become mundane, and it's good to switch up from time to time. Okay, and that's what I want to talk about today. Aside from politics, I want to talk about getting out of the mundane and doing something different, switching it up sometimes. If you are a employee or in the workforce, a lot of us, we have a routine schedule weekly. If it's like a traditional schedule, it's like typical 8 to 9 hours a day that we work Monday through Friday, and off on the weekends. If it's non-traditional, then you may, have a day off during the week and have to work on the weekend. But any way that it goes, normally we're given at least about 40 hours of our time every week to an institution to be able to provide basic necessities for ourselves. And sometimes it can become so mundane and you feel like your life is passing you by because all you do is work and all you do is pay bills, and you have to make time for yourself. Now, speaking of me, I'm a homebody. I have always been a homebody since I was young. I think I got my first car when I was like 19 years old. It was an Isuzu Rodeo. I remember it because the window on my driver's side would not let down, and at one point the door would not open. So I used to have to get out on the passenger side, and Lord, when the AC went out of that thing in the summertime and I couldn't get no air out the window or get out, oh yes, it was like a hot box. But that was my first car that I had. And even though I had a vehicle and I was young and had a job at the time, I still did not do anything. I like to go to work and I come home. I've always been like a homebody, but I'm beginning to understand that there is much more to life than staying in the house and going to work. I have siblings that are active, and they'll tell me, and have been telling me for years, all you do is go to work and come home. You need to get out the house. You need to do something different. Nothing's going to come to you. You got to go out there to it. So they are right. It should be a balance with things. You don't always need to be outdoors, because sometimes you have people that are never in the house unless they're taking showers, getting something to eat and sleeping. And then they live their life outside. And you have some people that live their life inside. So I believe in balance. I believe that you shouldn't always be indoors, but you shouldn't always just be outdoors either. There needs to be balance. But at the same time, you guys, like I was saying, when it comes down to being mundane with these jobs, a lot of us give at least 40 hours a week and years of our lives to institutions to be able to just provide the basic necessities for our lives. But I am beginning to realize that it is very important to give yourself and your life that same energy. And this is for people that have ambitions and have goals in life. Not everybody has ambitions or goals. Some people are content with just doing, the same old thing and not really getting further than that in life. But a lot of people fantasize about living a certain lifestyle and having certain things, but those things don't come from dreaming. They come from action. And just the same as we do for these jobs, when we go to work and we put our bodies into action to perform and to produce, and we produce money, for the company, and we get a certain small percentage of that money to be able to take care of our basic necessities. But they are, for the most part, capitalizing the most off of our work. Okay. And so I feel like it's important that we also put that same energy into ourselves. Sometimes it's hard because you're given 40 hours. Like I said, you get off from work, you're tired. You don't really feel like doing anything other than coming home, changing your clothes, taking a shower, getting something to eat, watching the TV until it's watching you. But I remember a few years back, before I had the internet on my cell phone, I didn't have no Google Maps. I didn't have nothing but strictly texting and phone calls on my, on my phone. I didn't have the internet. So basically I didn't have all of the distractions that I have now with all of these apps. You got YouTube, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got all these different things that can distract you and take your time up if you are not disciplined enough. And discipline is important. You use it when we go to our job. We know that we have to be there at a certain time. So we have to get up in a certain amount of time to make sure that we get to work, and then if we have to go back the next day, we discipline our lives according to that. I can't be doing this and that because I know I got to get up the next day and go to work. So that same discipline that we use day to day when we go into work, we need to use when we're outside of work. Okay, I'm going to give this much time to social media. I'm going to give this much time to my television. I'm going to give this much time to this or this much time to myself or, whatever. It's all about structure. It's all about discipline. And I used to hear a lot of people speak, like wealth or what we consider to be successful people speak on time management and how we all get equal 24 hours a day in our time, in our day, but not everyone uses their time the same. And that's what separates successful or productive people from mundane or mediocre people, is the way that we use or choose to use our time. Because even people that have jobs are very productive outside of work, and it's all because of the way that they choose to use their time. So if you have something that you want to do in life, whether you have a job or not, remember, you can do it. It's all about discipline. It's all about the way you're using your time. Sometimes you'll get this funk that'll come over you that makes you want to just be stagnant and be lazy and procrastinate and stuff like that. But you have to, if you're a spiritual person, pray it off of you. Try to make yourself get up. The same way we are forced to get up to go to work every day, use that same mindset to force yourself to get up, to do the things that you would like to do for you, to better yourself, whether it's I'm going to work out today, whether it's I'm going to drink more water today, whether it's I'm going to cook instead of eating out today, or I'm going to engage with somebody that I don't know today, or whatever it may be, doing something for you, getting outside of the mundane and doing something for you, because that's what life is all about. It's getting out of the traditional work, in my opinion, doing the same old thing day to day and just experiencing what life has. Because even with the weather, you see how God changes it up. You don't get consistent sunshine. You don't get consistent rain. Some days you'll have a thunderstorm and then by the end of the day, it's sunshine, or some days that'll start off with sunshine and end up with a thunderstorm. Okay, we have different days. It'll be windy one day, or it won't be no wind. It'll be humid another day. So just like God allows different seasons and allows from day to day things to change, that's the way that we should be too when it comes down to doing things for ourselves, getting out of the mundane. Just wanted to come on here and encourage anyone, because sometimes if you don't have anyone to encourage you, you have to encourage yourself. To be able to motivate yourself and to push yourself is a very beneficial thing, because sometimes you may not always have somebody's support or have someone that is there to keep you going and keep you strengthened and keep you moving. I hear some people say that they had certain loved ones that when they were here, that are no longer here, but when they were here, they would be a big support and would help them. But now they don't have that anymore. So it's like, it can kind of put them in a funk. But I would say that we can be our biggest motivators, or we can be our biggest hindrances. Okay, but beyond anyone else, we can be our biggest motivators, or we can be our biggest hindrances. One way we can hinder ourselves is by allowing other people's opinions or thoughts on what we should do to affect us. Now, it's good to get advice from people from time to time, But at the end of the day, we are the ones that are living our lives. And the main person that we should seek advice from, and this is for believers, is God. Okay, that's the main source that we need to seek advice from, because people are always going to have an opinion on what they think you should be doing or how you should be living, but you're the one that's living your life. Okay, and you can take advice. I'm not saying don't listen to no one or only take what you have to, only take what you think for yourself to do. But at the same time, you have to also remember that at the end of the day, it's your decision that you have to make for your life. And so you can take heed to what they're saying, but you can take it also to God and seek God. God, this is where I'm at. I got advice from this person. I feel this way. What do you think? When it comes down to making decisions in life. And that's whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's anything. So I just wanted to come on here and just encourage anybody that may be stuck, in a funk or stuck in neutral, haven't made their mind up whether they want to go forward or reverse. And sometimes it's good to back, so that you can retract. But for the most part, we want to be about forward movement. We want to be able to, if you have to back to realign yourself, to give yourself space to turn in the right direction so that you can go forward, then that's fine. But if you want to continue dealing with things that are not really going to propel you to where you need to be, then you'll forever be in reverse or stagnant and neutral. So we're all about going forward, you guys. We want to be able to just live our lives the best life that we can live, because like I said, if you are a believer, God says, I come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. And to me, more abundantly does not include going to work every day for 55, 60 years. There are people that have done it and they've done it well, but for me, I feel like it's much more to life. There's so much to see. There's so much to learn. There's so many people to interact with, and just things that you can do for yourself. So it's getting out of that mundane, get up, get it done. You can do it. I know you can. I have to tell myself that from time to time. I'll be sitting in the bed and it's 1, 2, and I'm, wait a minute, time is steady ticking. You don't get this time back. You need to get up and make something happen. It's nothing going to happen until you get up and make it happen. And you have to believe in yourself that you have that ability to do it. There's been points and times in life, in everyone's lives, once you hit a certain point, I would say, or age, that you can look back and say, oh man, I was really doing it at that point. I was on point with it. I was going to the gym. When I got off from work, I was making my own breakfast. I was doing this, I was doing that, and then you probably fell off a little bit and then forgot where you were and kind of fell off in a slump. But sometimes you could just recall moments where you were in a better place and think, what was I doing when I was in that better place? Oh, okay, I was keeping people off and around me that had a lot of negativity going on. Oh, okay, I was reading my word more. Oh, I was working out more. I was drinking more water. I was, just recall how you felt when you were in a better place. Remember those things and say, okay, I need to get back to that. How can I get back to that? So all I wanted to say was, for the most part, to wrap this video up, is to take time for yourselves. Do what you can do to better your life, because working every single day, and trust me, you guys, I've been in a rat race for 25 plus years now. And now that I'm getting older, I'm really getting to that point where I'm getting pushed to actually get out of the same mundane type thing, or doing the same mundane type things. Hence the reason why I'm on YouTube now, because I thought about being on YouTube for probably 3-4 years before I actually got on YouTube. And I had actually started my channel in 2023, I believe, April of 2023, but I didn't even post the first video up until like September of 2024. So that's how long it took for me to finally decide to say, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to put myself out there and do it. I ain't going to worry about the backlash, the criticism, whatever. I'm going to do it. Now, social media may not be for everyone. I understand that. But whatever it is that you're interested in life, if it doesn't, as long as it doesn't include breaking the law, because we want to keep it legal. It's all about our freedom in this space age. But, just as long as it's, like I said, legit, hey, do it. Get up and do it. Like Nike said, just do it. So I'm going to wrap it up there, you guys, but I'll be back with you at another time. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.